So how's everybody doing?
Wow.
It's a new year.
It's a new year. Yay!
Are you all here?
Do you
We're
make resolutions?
Oh,
Do you
well.
make resolutions,
Then
Gary?
we won't talk about it.
Yeah.
You can talk about whatever you want. So I was at the gym this morning, first time of the year, and there was about 50 people there at 5 a.m. that I'd never seen there
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
So
all New Year's resolution.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks and then.
2 weeks. So as I'm sitting there on the
Well, at least they
treadmill,
went for 2 weeks. I didn't even know
I'm
you
treadmilling, and I'm next to Brady Mitchell. Well, I know Brady.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And his goal is to, by Thursday, to run 6 miles in 66 minutes, 11
Wow.
miles on average. And his best he had done was like 5 miles in 80 minutes. So it was like
That's
a big stretch
deal.
to another mile and say 14 minutes. And I was side by side with him for a while. When I was done on the treadmill, he was still going. He was just going.
Wow.
And he did it today. He did his 6 miles in 65 minutes, like 64:50, like a minute under his goal. He got
Wow.
his 6 miles done. So it was really cool to see that.
That's awesome.
And as I was at the gym, I'm thinking, and I'm looking at these 50 people that
You've never seen before.
now these ones are all new. And I remember thinking to myself, I remember all those New Year's resolutions I made that I was going to like get healthy. And they did something I never did. They at least went to the gym
That's what
when
I'm saying.
January 1st came.
Right.
Because I
Right.
could not count on 2 hands how many years I made the resolution.
And
I never even
stepped
went to the
foot.
gym.
Yep.
And so as I was, and I did a little video on it, I'm like doing a video, I'm like, I got to give them kudos.
That's
Because they showed up.
right.
But how many of them will be here in a week? And based upon my past performance, I never did it for years. And then on August 10th of last year, I decided I'm going to do something. And I'm pretty committed to it. But it made me realize it doesn't matter what we may have done in the past. For all of our resolutions that we may have ever made, it really doesn't matter whether you did them or didn't do them. What really matters is today. That's all that matters. And if you didn't make resolutions for this year, that doesn't matter. It's January 4th. Doesn't mean you can't set aside some time and create some type of accomplishment or resolve to do something that you've always been thinking of or wanting to do and just never done. And January's come and gone. It doesn't mean it's too late not to still do something. And it kind of hit me like a brick at the gym today that it's really just all about today. And as I was visiting with Jane over the weekend, and we were talking about, it's still weird to hear her call her
I
Jane.
know.
Especially you.
I'm
I
used to
know.
saying it too. What's weird is when Chris Strong calls her Carolyn in front of like a group. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's kind of weird to me now to hear her be said that way.
That's
I'm actually kind of used to hearing Jane. But as we were talking over the weekend, she said that she's taking her vision board from last year and she's taking everything off of it and she's putting one thing on there. It's a picture of me. I'm like,
Wow.
that was really kind of neat.
Yeah.
She's like, I just figured this year if we can focus on each other and I can just focus on doing things that will help us as a couple and take everything else off it, know that that will all fall into place.
Yeah. I love
If
that.
we just kind of focus on each other. And I
That's
really, I mean, it brought tear to my ear,
Yeah.
It brought a tear to my ear and to my eye.
That was a little wet there.
I kind of have tear duct issues.
If you do that again, I want to see that.
Yeah, no, I'll never do it. Okay, so this is a distraction at the gym today. I went to drink fountain. I got a drink of water in front of everybody, and I went to stand up and swallow and say, cough.
Oh,
So I sent
no.
all the water down the wrong tube, and it all came out my nose. It was like in front of all these people. I'm like, this is really weird. This didn't come out my ears. So that's a
Now the
distraction.
white has tears in
But anyways, it kind of brought a tear to my eye, and
I love it.
I decided that this was yesterday, but I decided also that this will be my focus. And a lot of things happened yesterday. Actually, a lot of really good things. Just as this year is starting and we're already a few days into it, I changed quite a few things that I wanted to do this year. And I actually I'm going to back burner them. And I'm going to just do some things that will really help me and my wife be connected. And I've got one thing on my vision board, and I'm going to put two. So I'll put a picture of her on it, so I'll have that too. But I just have one word on my vision board this year, and the word is perspective. And I just want to help look at life through a different perspective.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not just my view, but other people's views, and kind of see the perspective that other people have. When I'm talking to someone about Strongbrook, the real estate or Limitless or the mentoring network, I just want to share the perspective of what is it like coming from them. And so for me, this year is really interesting the way it is taking launch. And it is all about my perspective, how I and my wife are relating to each other and caring for each other. And I've even tabled, I wanted to do a 3-day event on February 4th, 5th, and 6th that I need to tell Steve Miller about. He was gonna help me, and I'm tabling this event. I just need to push it off because I just felt this great direction given to me yesterday that I need not do, I'm not supposed to do that right now. And I don't know why. I've got 5 people lined up that were coming from out of state to come and speak, of which one of them I found out this morning is bought tickets. And he can easily arrange them. He flies all over the place, but I'm like, oh, wrong, didn't think about that. So it's just an interesting thing. I don't know where life's taken me, but I know that I'm supposed to be right here. And part of my goals was to do more than, I wanted to branch out and do some other things with my brand, which I still can do, but it needs to come from within for me. It needs to come from within the circle of the friends that I've already gathered and help them gather and make new friends and links, like I've done for 4 years, going on 5 years now. And so it is just like a sudden burst of surprise to me. So I'm here to just share with you. I'm here to recommit, redouble that this is a direction I'm going. And I know my wife is doing her program with her women's empowerment thing that she's doing with Keys to the Queendom. And I'm here to support her on that. She's not going away, but she said also that she'll make herself more present at these meetings as well, just because we want to be able to re-engage and just recommit and let you all know that we're here for you, whether you're here or whether you're watching and you're going to be coming here, whether you don't even live around here. We're just really here to support the Strongbrook initiative. The Strongbrook initiative is amazing to me right now with what they're doing and bringing real estate to the forefront, but also facilitated like they've always done, and teaching strategies like they're now starting to do, and embracing that whole aspect of it, and their possible crowdfunding that they are going to be doing and bringing to the table where it can allow anyone at even a small level contribute to a real estate deal and be part of a deal. This is phenomenally amazing and fantastic to me. And I'll be getting my real estate license to come license here at Strongbrook, of which now I will hopefully set that up to be done this month before the month is out. And me personally, I wanted to start a real estate investing, I don't know what we'll really call it a club, but I want to do it like a networking night once a month. It won't be Strongbrook pitch. It will just be real estate investing. Anyone locally that wants to get in and learn anything about real estate. And of course, it's a way to introduce people to Strongbrook. That's the big purpose. But I don't want it to be, if Strongbrook comes out and does their own thing, their own events, and it's Strongbrook backed, great, I want to support it. But I think we need to do something in Utah Valley that is just real estate related and build our network and our circle of influence and let anyone come to it that's within our Strongbrook family and bring friends to help network and find deals and talk about deals and talk strategy on deals. And we can bring in the experts to kind of share their advice, like Stephen Miller, who could maybe come in and share lease option strategies, etc. I can share some of my stuff, and people that aren't part of Strongbrook but are investors that can come in and share, like Jerry Norton, for example. Is that his name? Jerry Norton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. My brain's like gone. So anyways, that's kind of exciting for me, yes.
There is a group here in Utah Valley, REIA.
Real estate investment.
Yeah, there is, and I intend to go to
meet
those.
at least once a month, and
And
there's one in Salt Lake also.
If you get on meetup.com, or meetup groups,
Yeah.
there's about 6 of them that are doing things.
Mhm.
And I intend to get involved I intend to go to some and find out which ones I want to kind of be more involved with. But man, wouldn't it be nice to tap into others that are already doing things just to kind of learn and make connections? So that is what I am doing, is what I'm here to support. And I just, anything I can do to help any of you, let me know. I know there's a new well, we'll talk about this in a minute. I want Stephen Miller to be able to share some words, but there's kind of a new revival of grand openings going on right now for some people that are involved in this mastermind, and maybe Stephen can even talk about that. But this mastermind IBD not mentoring, this mastermind that they formed for any IBD that wants to meet on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. at Chris's place or the phone. And it's been amazing to see how much interest is generated now with people wanting to do grand openings. Dates have been set, January's filling up. I've chosen into a few of the dates, and it's part of the other reason why I'm like, I think I just need to commit my time here, one more final big push this year, and just make this year phenomenal. So I'm excited. It's a great year. I'm glad you're all in my life. I want to turn time to Mr. Stephen Miller, let you come up and share, pontificate.
Yay.
Anything you wish to do.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Man, it was a great holiday. Really, really wonderful spending time with family. And it's also really great to be back in the swing of things. You know, a couple of days ago, maybe it was even yesterday, I was watching some videos on a website that a lot of you may be familiar with. And one of the videos was talking about goal setting and how we do that and why we do it. And it referenced goal setting from a story that you may be familiar with that's in the Bible, which is one of Lot. Everyone remember the story of Lot and his wife? Can anyone give me a quick synopsis of what happened with Lot and his wife?
All I remember is she turned to a pillar of salt.
Do you remember
because she
why?
looked back.
They were told to leave
They were
the
supposed to
city of
look forward.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the city of Sodom and
It's
Gomorrah,
going to be
a
destroyed.
horribly wicked
sinful.
place, right? People were doing
Yes.
all sorts of crazy wickedness and all that kind of stuff. Lot was commanded to take his wife and their two daughters and to flee the city. And so they did. They fled the city, and they were told specifically not to look back. Now, when I watched this video, it was again all set in this idea of goal setting. And the idea of not looking back to our tattered past, right? Not looking back to these horrible things, but looking forward with faith. I mean, this was a faith website, and obviously he's referencing the Bible and all that kind of stuff. And as I was thinking about that, it really impressed me. This idea of, it's not that we don't want to learn from things, but it's the idea of leaving the things that aren't working, the things that aren't, doing us any good, the things that are holding us from achieving our goals, leaving those things in the past and not looking back to them, right? Leaving our old habits, our old ways, and all that kind of stuff that never got us to where we wanted to go and what we wanted to be, leaving it behind and not looking back. In this case of Lot and his wife, Lot's wife decided to look back for whatever reason. I don't know what it was. I don't know her reasons. It doesn't go into and explain the reasons for her looking back, but she literally turned around and looked back at this horrible, horrible city that she was commanded to leave. And because of it, she was turned into salt, right? So how do we do that? How do we get past our past? How do we get beyond our past? Not look back at it, not turn back to it, right? And truly create the life that it is that we want, and the life that we've been wanting maybe for years and years and years, but for some reason have always turned back, right? How do we get out of that? So really, I just want to talk about 2016. I want to talk about moving forward. I want to talk about how we're going to do that and what some of our goals and plans are. And specifically, I want to talk about what Gary mentioned earlier, which is what we're doing in this realm of the IBD Mastermind, what we're doing with the revitalization of these grand openings, and how I believe we're actually creating a support system that has been better than we've ever had before. That's going to provide all of our IBDs, no matter where they are, opportunities beyond what they had in the past as well. And so, first of all, let me talk about this IBD Mastermind. For anyone that's not a part of this IBD Mastermind, it is every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. It's at Chris's home, but you can always dial in. It's the same phone number that we use for our worldwide training call that we do every Monday evening. And so it's the same exact number. If you need that number, it is in your back office, or you can call support and get it from them. But the whole purpose of this IBD Mastermind is to work with the willing. We want to work with individuals who are serious about growing their IBD business, who are serious about getting the word out, and would like to learn different tips and tricks of what's working right now, what people are doing and how they can do it, as well as be on kind of the cusp of new ideas and help us test new things and get, figure out what is going to work for everybody. So we have currently somewhere in the realm of 60 to 80 people that are regularly on this call. We've now had, I think, 3 calls, if I'm not mistaken, and 3 events. And so it's going really well, a lot of excitement, but more importantly is we are doing specific things that are going to bring about a very desired result. We want results, and we want the right results, right? So we don't want to look back on what we did last year and what, everything that didn't work. We want to move forward and do things that are going to work and help us build our businesses. So if you haven't joined, you can register. There have been several emails that have been sent out for you to register for that group. We want you to register because we want to be able to communicate with you specifically and not to everybody else for this specific thing right now. So register for it if you want to be a part of that. Now, part of this IBD mastermind, this is something that's open and available to anybody and everybody, whether you're part of this mastermind or not, is this concept of the community grand opening and what we're doing for it. Several weeks ago, and I don't remember exactly when we started, but I believe it was November. Does anyone know when we started the Strongbrook Lives? Was it November? I think it was November when we started the Strongbrook Lives. It may have been actually just before.
It was right around the same time as we had that other meeting, the intensive.
Okay, yeah. So that was November 7th. Thank you. That's right. It was November 7th or 10th. So early November. Appreciate that. Great. So Strongbrook Live, what it's providing is a wonderful platform for anybody all around the nation to be able to plug into an event that is being run and held by corporate. I feel like we do a really good job presenting at the Strongbrook Lives. Obviously, we've been speaking about this for a number of years, so we're versed in it anyway. We can have the conversation pretty well, I think. And it provides you an opportunity, whether you are going to come in person and bring people here in person, or to gather in your own home or gather in a certain place, to be able to plug into it. And what I mean by plug in is literally being able to pull up on a computer what we're doing here live. We're live streaming every single Strongbrook Live. And if we're holding, utilizing Strongbrook Lives for community grand opening is really, I'm really excited about this, because this is going to allow us to coordinate with anybody all across the nation. So no matter, again, where you are, it doesn't really matter. You can let us know that, hey, on the night of, for example, the next Strongbrook Live is tomorrow night. Now, tomorrow night is going to be hard for probably anybody to really plan a great grand opening on their end, right? But we've got people that are planning for the end of January, the beginning of February, to plug into those and utilize them. This is how it would work. Let's just say that you had already planned and that you were ready to plug in for tomorrow night for your grand opening, okay? Here's what you would do. If you're in New York or Colorado or Washington State or Texas or wherever else around the nation, what you're going to do is you'd still plan a grand opening like you normally would, okay? What you're not going to worry about is venue, because you're going to hopefully bring people into your home, right? So we're going to make it easier for everybody. But what you are going to do is you're going to send out your invitations. You're going to make the follow-up calls just like you normally would, just like we taught forever, about grand openings. We send out we make our list. We send out the invitations. We follow up and RSVP people to come, and then we do one more follow-up to make sure that those that have RSVP'd are actually going to come, right? It's all about how many touches we give to people. And so you're still going to do those things, but you're not going to have to spend a lot of money on a venue. You're not going to do this, that, and the other. You're going to bring them into your home. Once you let us know that you're doing that, that'll give us an opportunity to incorporate you into the event that we're doing here. So if Cheryl were doing an event from her home and wanted to plug into that kind of community online event that we were doing, I would then beforehand get some information from Cheryl and that I'd be able to then either read out loud or introduce or wave to them through the camera saying, hey, welcome Cheryl and your group, who are down in Spanish Fork or whatever. Where do you live in Spanish Fork? Right, we're down in Spanish Fork. They've got a wonderful event. We could even be texting back and forth a little bit. So Cheryl could say, hey, I've got 5 people here in my home. And I can say, hey, welcome to Cheryl and her 5 guests. So glad that you're here, kind of thing. So really we can make this a lot more interactive. I introduce it, or Chris, we introduce it. We introduce the people that are having the grand opening. We go through the content, and at the end, we can either do a ribbon cutting ceremony here for the people that are here live in the room, and then after that's done, we just turn it over to you. So you can do your ribbon cutting ceremony. You can collect your game plans. You can sell the 138, which is going to be the major push right now for this event, which we probably haven't talked about, but just real quick for those that are here today. What we're doing is we're just repackaging something, which isn't anything new that we haven't had before. I don't know. Can someone tell me if this is in the camera in just a second?
Yes.
Is that in the camera now? Okay, good. So what we're really doing, if you attend one of the Strongbrook Lives, you'll see that I'm not really focusing on the PSAs right now. My focus is on a first step for individuals. We do mention and talk about the PSAs, and we talk about them a little bit differently. So we now talk about them in a price range, and ranging anywhere from $500 to $30,000. Okay, this is how we talk about them, and we talk about the four different packages that are available. We don't get into specifics except to say that this includes one home, this includes 4 homes, this includes 10, and this is an unlimited amount of homes. Okay, that's how we kind of reference them. And then we also talk about the education portion for each of those, right? So we talk about all that. But the Strongbrook experience is really what we're selling at this event. So rather than trying to sell the $4.99 and $99 a month, or rather than trying to sell one of the PSAs as the end kind of goal for everything, the sale at the end is called the Strongbrook experience. And the Strongbrook experience is very simply 2 tickets to Limitless, 2 tickets, let's say ticks. It's easier, right? 2 ticks to the intensive, and a game plan, GPR. This right here and this right here, each of these have a $998 value. Okay, $998. So that's almost $2,000. We're putting a $100 value on this. Okay, so basically they're getting over $2,000 worth of value for the nice cost of $138. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is it easier to sell $138 one time price, or $4.99 and $99 a month right now? It's way easier to sell $138. That's a conversation where I don't even have to go call my wife, right? My wife wouldn't have to come and call me, right? We don't have to discuss it. It's $138. We spend it on a nice date, evening out kind of thing, right? So we're trying to just make this super simple. With that, they get 2 tickets to this, 2 tickets to this, right? So they're getting a lot of value, literally thousands of dollars of value for just $130. And by the way, when they get that and they come to our events, are they going to get everything else about us? Are they going to learn all of our different real estate programs? And if somebody has spent 3 days with me, or 3 days with Chris, or 3 days with Kevin, and they've learned all about our real estate, are they going to be more likely or less likely to buy a PSA? Way more likely, right? Way more. This conversation just, the value proposition is so much greater because they've now been there, they've spent time with us, they've gotten to know us a little better, their comfort level is different, right? So I believe what this is going to do is, first of all, it's going to put money in your pockets right away, because when one of those are sold, what do you get?
Commission.
Half. You get $70, right, out of a $138 ticket. So you get $70. So it's actually a little bit more than half, just a little bit, right? But you get your commissions right away, and then when they come and we do our job like we always have done, we'll get a percentage of those to upgrade to purchase, one of the PSAs, or to get involved with Limitless at a higher level, whatever the case might be, and you get to make more and more money, both up front and on the back end. Does that make sense? So this is what the focus is going to be of Strongbrook Live. I love this focus because it gives them a taste of everything. We're still, the conversation, we still talk about real estate. We still talk about mindset. So the conversation is very, very similar to what it's always been. We just now are laser focused in where we're sending them. Does that make sense? Any questions about this? I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it. So for 2016, again, I think the biggest thing of what we're trying to do is is we're trying to look forward to the very best things that we can do and implement to bless all of you as IBDs, to bless the company, to bless our customers coming in. How do we get them out of their way and put them on a path to where they don't want to, where they stop self-selecting too soon? Does that make sense? Right? What I mean by that is so many people, and I say this all the time, most of us are programmed to discount or what's the word I'm looking for? Disqualify. Most of us are looking to disqualify ourselves at the earliest possible time, right? We're trained to be skeptical. We're trained to think about how this isn't going to work for me rather than how it could. That's just how we're trained as a society. So I'm trying to get everyone as much as possible out of their own way, put them on a path where they can get the right information at the right time, where the barrier to entry is low enough to where it makes sense. Now, by the way, if someone came to your grand opening, they said, you know what, I have no interest in the real estate. Like no interest in the wealth, but I really love this mindset stuff. What can you do? Can you still sell them a $69 ticket to Limitless? Of course you can. All the products that we've ever had are still available. Okay, they can still buy those products separately if they want to. I believe that this is going to drive a whole lot more of what we really want to see. But if at the end of the day, someone says, you know what, I have no desire for that mindset stuff. I only want the real estate. Can I just go to the real estate event? Yeah, sure, it's just $69 in that case. Oh, you can get me that deal? Yeah, but you can only really get it through me. Great. I mean, you can drive people to where you want to. And at the end of the day, if someone says, man, I really just want to know my options, is there any way I can just get that game plan? Yeah, actually, I can get you that $100 game plan for free. Are you interested? What? You can give me the $100 game plan for free? Of course I'm interested. And so what I believe this conversation will do is give people an opportunity to find out more about us in the appropriate manner and way. When you have your follow-up conversation, which you're all going to do anyway, right? You're going to have that follow-up conversation with them. When you do, then you can guide them exactly to what's going to help them best. And it may very likely be the $138 package, but it may not. Maybe they just want a game plan. Maybe they just want a ticket of one or the other. Maybe they say, no, you know what, right now I just really want the $30,000 unlimited PSA. So you go, okay, great. Although we don't talk about it, so at least not here specifically. So I'm super excited about that. So my recommendation for all of us right now is let's not be like Lot's wife, right? Let's move beyond and move past our failures and stop dipping back into those and stop turning around and doing all the things that we've always done that have always got us to where we are right now, right? Because where we are right now isn't where we want to be. Where we are right now is a great stepping stone, but let's look forward and let's do those things that are going to help us get there. So that's really what I wanted to share. I'll go ahead and turn the time back over to you.
I'm not done.
You're not done?
No, you keep
Gary's
talking.
not done, so we're going to keep on going. He's not done with me.
I was going to say, Stephen, I love the value that is. I mean, 2-3 day seminars.
Yeah.
Unbelievable for $138.
Yeah.
And the diversification of them, like you say, they're, the interest to find out exactly what Strongbrook has here.
Yeah.
Is like unbelievable.
It's huge.
I knew it.
So huge.
There you go. So this what Gary Norris is putting up here right now is your specific link to sell that $138 package. Okay. So these are all replicated. So just whatever your username is. So Stephen Miller .live events calendar. Make sure you spell it right. CALENDAR.com/experience. Okay. And that is your replicated site. That'll all be linked to you so you can get people actually registered for this right away. And already started to sell these. It's really excited to see that start coming through. So we have really big plans coming this year, and we want to work with those that really want to work. And if you're not ready to do things, or if this isn't part of your 2016 goals, that's okay. But if for you this is a big part of what you want to accomplish for 2016, then let us know how we can help you. That's what we're here for, and that's really what our goals are: is to hone in and help those that are ready to help themselves. So,
Awesome.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Do you know the day, the next 3 days?
Oh, yes. So January dates. are January 14th, 15th, and 16th. Thank you for bringing that up. January 14th, 15th, and 16th. We were going to be having it in Salt Lake. We decided not to. We decided to have it here. So it's going to be here.
Is that limitless?
No, this is
This is
the
the
intensive.
intensive.
This is the wealth intensive.
Intensive.
Yep. So again, that's the 14th, 15th, and 16th. It's going to be here at the corporate office, or if you are again not here, the same cost, the same price will get you an online access pass. So once you've registered, we will make sure to get that to you. Every event that we have, you can go to strongbrook.com/events and register. All of these events should be up there right now to be able to register for that. The next the next Limitless event is January 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, I believe. Is that right, Carson? Yes, that's right. Okay. So 21st, 22nd, 23rd is the next Limitless event for this month. And that is going to be, I believe, is that going to be at the Marriott, Carson? Do you know? Limitless?
Convention.
The Provo Marriott, I think. It's either the Marriott or the Convention Center. I think it's the Marriott. That's where they've been having. And let's see. Oh, and then for anyone that was at the intensive last month, we talked about some of you earned a Lease Option Live course, and I believe that's also available to register for if you qualified for it. That is a $3,000 course that you can't actually currently pay for, but we're looking at that, but you can earn it in different ways. But that is going to be also up on that events calendar, strongbrook.com/events, to be able to register for it if you did qualify for that. All right.
January 14th, 15th, and 16th is the intensive.
Is the intensive. 14th, 15th, 16th is the intensive. 21st, 22nd, 23rd is limitless. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Switch.
Now we can thank you. Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you, Jason.
Switch. No, I really appreciate that, and I really know why I don't write in front of people. That is not my forte, not my strong point. So it's funny because we have Vaughn Stocking watching. Shout out to Vaughn. He texts us, and he texted me and said, the actual day of that first event was the 29th of October. And then you did an all-day Strongbrook Live. It's just your historian checking in.
Yeah. That's good.
So we got eyes out there watching us. So now I can't say my Von Stocking joke. I had a good joke I wanted to talk about him, but now he's listening. So, what do you guys think? What is new and exciting in your world that we can help gear up for? Real estate, limitless, grand openings, anyone on your teams?
I was just going to share that my house in Vegas, we decided to sell.
Come up here. That's worth
Yeah.
being on TV for.
Yeah, this is really, really exciting.
Seat's all yours.
So,
or you can stand
thank
right
you.
there.
So we decided that we were going to sell our house in Vegas. And we got a cash offer
Wow.
on Saturday.
Wow.
Just barely found out about it this morning. The only trouble is it's a bit low. We're asking 190,000. They were offering 170. So we will counter that offer. But we owe $80,000 on it. So, we're going to make probably $100,000 if we get,
Awesome.
And so you look at that. And I was just thinking about the bonuses, the home bonus, $35,000 home bonuses. This is like getting 3 home bonuses. I'm like, wow, real estate investing really works.
That's so true.
So that part of Strongbrook, it's fun to see all of the facets of Strongbrook that work, that it really does do what they say it will do.
When did you buy that house?
We bought that house November, let's see,
2012?
that's what I was trying to
2 or 3
remember. You came in
11.
11,
Moved here in 12.
and I think we did it in 11, November.
So you've had it for going 5 years. It's 4 or 5 years.
I think so. I'll have to check for sure. But anyway, to have that value increase like that, I'll have to let you know exactly what we end up selling for, because of course we're not selling it for 170,000. So
Right.
I'm just curious, but what was Joe's initial reaction to buying a home out of the area?
Joseph's initial reaction to any of this was like this,
That's
digging the
what I thought.
heels.
And what's his response? now?
Yeah, now he's going, you know what? These guys know what they're doing. And they're what's the word? They're delivering on what they said they would do. It's a big deal.
That's awesome.
And talking about, of course, having that house buy 2 more houses is the goal. So we'll let you know how that all goes.
That's fantastic. Holy cow.
Thank
So
you.
let me get this straight. You bought a house about we'll just call it 4
Yeah,
years,
Yeah, probably 4 years.
and you put out of pocket to get that house.
30.
30,000?
Around there, it was around 30, whatever that
So you
was.
laid out 30,000,
Mhm.
you bought you a home. Every month you've been
107.
making how much cash flow?
Yeah, probably 2. We haven't made any cash flow for the last 3 or 4. That's why we decided to sell.
But when you were cash flowing,
Yeah, probably 225 or something.
so 225 a month cash flow, and every month isn't cash flow because you got
Yeah.
turnover, and now you're selling it, there's no renters.
Yeah.
But holding it for 48 months, of the 48 months, you probably had cash flow most of the 48 months.
Most of the time.
That's pretty significant. Just that cash flow
I know.
is significant.
It's
But let's take that out of the picture. Let's take the write-off out of the picture. That's a taxable,
Oh, yeah, the
it's a tax
bill.
deduction. You can
Oh,
write
yeah.
off the interest on the mortgage, and you could depreciate the asset, which is amazing. And you can also, when you do that, it goes all against your income, it lowers your income taxes. So
That's it.
let's even take that benefit out of the deal. Just the home alone, 30,000 in to make 4 years later, 100,000, take your 30 out, that's a $70,000 return,
Yeah.
right? That's getting 100 back minus your 30, $70,000. That is very powerful.
Yeah.
You can take
it's
that
huge.
and go now take that money and go buy 2 more homes in another market that's now performing better than the one you're exiting out of, for example, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And with Strongbrook, you can get a house bonus. You got your first house bonus
Mhm.
4 months ago, about something like that.
Already going again, 10. Already have 10.
Already have 10. So that's awesome,
I know,
by the
can you
way.
believe that?
So when you get a house bonus, it's when 75 homes have been purchased through the people you tell refer to Strongbrook and they buy homes. I know all you know this, but maybe for the sake of the video,
Yeah.
some don't know.
Yeah.
And as you refer people to Strongbrook and they come on board to take advantage of the done for you real estate, every time a home is purchased, if it's connected to your referral somehow, you get credit for it. And after 75 homes have been purchased through your little ripple effect of referring people, the company writes you a check for $35,000. And they do it for one reason. The big reason they chose to do this was, how can we help people that may not have money or capital like a 401k, but they have relationship capital where they can connect people to the company? How can we bless them in a point of getting them into real estate? And they figured out this $35,000 bonus would be a way. So a person could literally get a $35,000 bonus. You've done it. I've done it several times. You could take that $35,000 and you could put it into a Strongbrook property. So really, you don't have any of your money into that. Really, the check came from Strongbrook. You just
Yeah.
referred people.
That's right.
You put then that money down. You don't have to because it's cash. You can go blow it in Vegas like I did with mine.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want with that money. But if you did put it into a house and you just let it sit for a few years, it can bring you back plus 3 more of those checks. That is so powerful when you think about it that way. And so who do we know that I don't have credit, right? I can buy a house that I can live in, but I still have to have 2 more years go by before enough time has gone by from the 3 foreclosures I took a bath in 2008, 9, 10, and 11 come to fruition. And I can buy a home with a non-owner occupied home, but I can't yet. But who do I know that may have credit? Who do I know that may have a 401k that is not performing the way they wish it would? And I could just, you have $35,000, $40,000 we can take out of that 401k, let you be a partner, even a silent partner. You don't have to do any of the details. We'll just use your money, make you a part of the deal, put you on title so you're protected with your money, and then go do a deal with people. These people are out there. And this is why I kind of want to start up this or go to these local real estate clubs and just kind of sharing ideas and seeing like real deals that are local, put them up on a whiteboard and just talk about the deal. What makes it a deal or why? Why is it a deal? Why isn't it a deal? And maybe just get some conversations going and bring in some experts that we can kind of share that kind of stuff with. And maybe we can even do it here in this room, but we just find a place to do it where it would be kind of a neat thing to do. That I think is very, very powerful because there are so many people that have access to funds that just don't know that they can play with them or they can put them to a better use than what they're being used for. Like your friend in Florida that you've never met.
Exactly.
Except you met her through a lead. There's someone that knew you knew through Strongbrook.
You,
Yeah, I remember that. I just want to
Yeah.
mention that name.
Yeah.
So, but it was someone who knew
Just
someone
cold calling. I would just cold
and
call.
they got to know Cheryl. They've never met in person. It was just a common person knew each of them. And they got together and she put up her $50,000 or whatever it was,
She actually bought my son out
about your son out of a property.
because my son and I were
That's awesome.
partners and she bought him out.
And the point is, there's people out there, it's just trying to find them. And a lot of the time, they're people we know.
And the other thing, Gary, is when I think about myself those years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, you know, all of this stuff was so foreign to me. To be a real estate
Right.
investor, to partner with somebody, all of these things are so far out of my comfort zone. And I think just coming here, associating, that's why I love that 138. If people will come and they will rub shoulders with people at Strongbrook,
Yeah,
and they will learn to think a new thought and to expand their vision of
Yeah.
what their life could be like. It's a huge, huge deal. Because my life was completely different
opens doors to,
because of coming here and associating.
yeah, amazing possibilities.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else from you guys? You awesome people.
No convention this year or what?
The Strongbrook convention was set to be in April, but I know they postponed it. I haven't heard a date when. I'm sure they'll have one this year. I'm surprised they haven't laid down a date yet. Have you heard September?
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't heard. You just could be.
thought for
I don't
some
know.
reason I was thinking September, but I haven't heard a date either.
So there will be a Strongbrook convention at some point. I don't know.
I think they're trying to
Be sure to
solidify
announce it when
all
we hear it.
these angles that they're going.
The dust is.
Yeah, they gotta settle the dust so
Yeah.
that they can, that they can say no.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
but I'm excited for that convention when it comes.
The real estate agency going,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be a big thing too. Lots of things going on here.
Well, you guys are great. So are you. You guys are great. Even though I can't see you, I can see a little blue light around the camera, and that means you. So anything we can do, let us know. And until next week, we will meet again tomorrow night, Strongbrook Live, right here at 6:30. That'll be exciting too. All right, guys, you're awesome. I'll turn this thing off.